What's up, everybody? Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. What are we doing? I don't remember. It's snowing outside in real life, so that's kind of cool. Kind of bad because I have to drive to work later. But, you know, I'll live. We're still waiting on Duralumin for the auto mall, it looks like. So let's do a quick reset-arino here. Maybe it can finish some other things while it waits. But yeah, so that's Duralumin. Oh right, we need to burn the copper rejects. Yes. Okay, let's go get that done, because that seems kind of important to make sure Duralumin continues at maximum rate. Oh, that's funny. At least these things are fast. Alright, so to burn the rejects. Sounds like something you do with a witch. We found a witch. May we burn her? So this makes grade 4. So what's the problem? Is it the dust? It's the low-grade dust. Which, again, I don't always like. These rejects look different than other rejects. I do wish, because they're consistent with grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. I wish they were also consistent with grade dust versus rejects versus powder and all that. I wish those were nice and consistent. Anyway, so the problem here is that we don't need the copper plates. So what I need to do is just say output priority left, and if we don't got nothing to if we don't got no need for copper, then just burn it. Burners should be oh, I'm not on blueprint shotgun. There we go. Okay, so that should then get rid of these low-grade coppers at a better rate, which should get rid of the copper rejects at a better rate. So what do those make? 1.5. Those consume 2 a second. I think this should do it. It consumes 3.3 a second. These put together consume 6 rejects. All American rejects. Okay, yeah, that should all work. So now these should all be running here in a second. Or at least most of them will be. And that'll make 21 molten copper, which is enough. Not enough for these guys anyway, but that'll be close to 5 Duralumin a second if the aluminum can keep up, so that should catch up. Duralumin, yeah, I mean, we were stopped for multiple hours, probably because of this copper issue. Consumption has only been half a Duralumin per second. So now we're making like 3 a second. Yeah, we should be fine. It will take a little bit to catch up. I guess now we gotta check aluminum. Did we make enough molten aluminum? No, not even close. Uh-oh. These only make 7.5. Did I get another aluminum yet, or are we still? No. Wait, yes. But I'd have to spend or phosphoric. So comparing the two, it is twice as much molten. Exactly twice as much, but it uses the phosphoric acid, which we said we didn't want to do. Which I still stand by. We just need to make these buildings faster, I think. Because that's not very much Duralumin. These are going to run out of molten aluminum pretty quick. Because yeah, these are running almost constantly. It seems pretty easy to expand this if I just make more graphite like this. And then, you know, it's funny, I left all this extra room, but I didn't make it so that it was nice and easily expandable. What's up with that? I'm just gonna connect it to hot air here and not do anything else. That can consume up to 25, so no need to change anything there. Oh, it dropped a piece of aluminum as it was scooting along. That's funny. Alright, I'm gonna feed it that way. Okay, and now I need more of these guys. Which I'm going to bring this down here. Oops. Wrong inserter type. Alright, there we go. Plop that down. Get rid of my borax and graphite and such. Okay, now we can add more buildings pretty easily. I'm getting rid of all this hot air stuff. I just don't care. This was all from back in the day when stuff like hot air and coke oven gas actually mattered and was expensive. These days it's all just whatever, who cares? Just vent the stuff. And I will. And you can judge me all you want, but I'm doing it. All right, and then these guys need raw coal right here. Going this way. And that should do it. More graphite. Excuse me. I've got a little sun lamp for the winter. You know, one of those light therapy, whatever they call it, trying to keep seasonal affective disorder at bay. We'll see if it works. It's very bright, and it might be making me sneeze. Or it's just allergies, who knows? But allergies in the winter make no sense to me, so I don't get it. Anyway. I mean, I'm definitely throwing away a relevant amount of coke oven gas here. Do we have an easy way to put that somewhere? I don't think we do. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so then we need to double these guys. Which is gonna look like this. And then it's gonna look like me. The bots took the buildings. The bots always take the buildings. Grr. Alright, let's go up there. Now, what's the rate here? It actually is 5 per second, so I think I'm just gonna go with 2 fast inserters. And that way that can support even some slightly faster stuff going on later with modules. And then I don't know. Why don't I just do something like this, and this way we can have a belt out here for that, and then they all do 1.5. So a sideways inserter should be fine. Uh-oh. Oh, that just scared me. It got really dark. Wait. I disconnected something. Oh, that's so ugly. Look at the particle accelerator power graph. Okay, so these will all go on the right side, so we want these to go on the close side. What's going on here? I guess the bots are just taking a second to get here with these buildings. Or something. Here comes a few of them. Alright, and then that will output the gravel and the powder. And then I must have disconnected, yeah, molten aluminum. Was this molten aluminum? Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm gonna trust that it is, because it doesn't have anything else in it. Please tell me this connects all the way down to that. Duralumin. Yes. Yes, it does. Okay. So there we go. Molten aluminum is connected to Duralumin, and now we can... Why did I need powdered aluminum in the network? Am I making aluminum pulp 1 where we need it? I think that's what's happening. Based on what this all looks like. Yes. I'm making it and doing what with it? Is it going in a tank? What's happening here? Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm making it near... I'm not making it near phosphoric acid. Why am I making it here? Of all places. Oh, because of the lime. That's right. I have random lime production over here. Okay, that's why I'm making it there. That's funny. Anyway, so we do need this to remain a thing. Otherwise, we'll have problems with that. And then... very much need to get rid of all that. Okay, finally, now I can copy this over here. And we've doubled our aluminum. Soon, at least. Now, is this all good for 1.5? That's 4.5, that's 9.5. But I am putting it on both sides, so we're fine. Assuming side loading is not a problem. Yeah, it should be fine. So that should get me up to 30 aluminum ore a second consumed, which is... Wait a second. 3 ball mills goes with 6 arc furnaces. And 4.5 graphite. Oh. So I actually don't need more ball mills. I needed to double the other stuff, but not the ball mills. And we do need like 10% more on the, whatchamacallit. Oh, these can't take, what? Hitting Z doesn't work here. That's so weird. Why would Z not work? Control click works, but Z as to like drop a module in doesn't work with the ghost module when you're in person. But I'm pretty sure it works when you're in map mode. No, it doesn't work in map mode either. Never mind. I lied. All right, are these on the way? I think they are because there's no, yep, there they are. They do take a lot of power. Given I don't need the extra speed, I think it's worth actually spending some efficiency modules there. Oh, speaking of efficiency modules, I forgot that we had them now. We could save a good amount of power with our centrifuges. Completely forgot about that. So what I need to do is Control F for centrifuge. Nope, that doesn't work. See, this is why you need, very much why you need factory search. Entity, centrifuge. Alright, so then we need to plop a efficiency into each of those. These are not going to run very much anymore, but will run sometimes. Alright, those two have been running a lot. Cool. And then I could also go with boilers. That'll save me about 40 megawatts maybe for free, but I would need 66 modules. I don't think that's worth it, actually. In fact, I'd save more power on the electrolyzers than on the boilers, which is weird because electrolyzers use less, or yeah, they use less power, but we're using them more often, is what that means, comparatively. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the time scale we're looking at. I just don't think spending that number of modules is worth it to get like 50 megawatts back. So I won't. Not right now, at least. These guys still giving me power? Free power? My goodness, that's so funny. All right, so copper rejects is done. We even upgraded aluminum without meaning to. Look at that. Okay, so Duralumin should be catching up. Hopefully. Now we've averaged 1 a second over the last hour. Okay. Good, good, good. We're still 4,000 under on make versus consume in the last 10 hours, so... But we're 2K up in the last hour, so that means another hour and we should be caught up. Or so. Gas power is paused. Okay, we must be out of... I'm gonna guess Kim. Yeah, Nexalit. But Nexalit, hopefully, is still rocking and rolling here. Let's find out. Yes, it's still rocking and rolling. Look at that. An hour straight of 6.7 thousand plates in 1 hour. Oh, that's so amazing. This is incredible. Are we actually like backing up on clean Nexalit? Not quite, but we are caught up at least. And workers' food is still running. No, we're out of jerky again. Let me do one more jerky delivery. It's annoying, but... And I also have antimony. I want to get rid of. All kinds of other stuff I want to get rid of. What happened to my inventory? Goodness. All right. Let me pop over to. Actually, I'm right where I need to be. Just pop down here, grab some of this. 50,000 jerky. Maybe I should put this in a station. Like, this is almost enough. How big is my inventory? Is not quite big enough. Because there's a part of me that just wants to get all this on the network and not waste it. But I think what I'll do here, let me grab. I turned off personal logistics. Oh, right, you can't turn off trash. Wait, what just happened? What it? Oh, they're getting sorted to the top. I was like, where are the steel chests going? All right. Are any of these provider chests that just happen to be empty and not getting used these days? Yeah, this was for manure. We're not using it anymore. This is now for jerky. And put it at -1 priority. But it's just gonna be here. Just chilling. And it's not rich clay. Get that off the belts. This is jerky only. Come and get it. And then I am gonna set up a belt. Hold on, I'm gonna do a couple things actually. Whoa, that's a lot of text. I'm gonna get all of this crap recycled into here. And then we're gonna do a little bit of shuffling. I don't think these even matter anymore. And we're gonna go that one into that one. And then this one, this one, and then this one. We'll recycle some stuff. Down to this train station. That'll come down here. And then jerkies and this. None of this matters anymore. Look, I already even had a jerky train stop over here. But now I've repurposed this one. So here we are. Inventory's full. Posh. Posh, I say. All right. Alright, that should do it. This is no longer manure. Old jerky. Okay. And I'm ignoring the skin for now. But that should at least get that jerky accessible to the rest of the base. Which should mean that we've got jerky here now again. Yep. Got delivered recently. Maybe. That should really be 21. Yeah, we got 103. Got plenty of empty space. Okay, how are AUGs doing, by the way? We've been rendering AUGs for a long time. Are we doing okay? We got 405 stacks of stored crap ready to spoil here. Is that enough yet? I don't know. We need more jerky. I think until... So, why did I put this at -1? Shouldn't we have this at like +1? Use it up first? Or do we want it as this weird backup? No, I'd rather use it up than have it as a weird backup. Anyway. And that should allow our crap deposit, our crap jerky deposit, to build up a little bit more. And once that's built up a little bit more, and this is full, then I can chill out on rendering AUGs. But for now, we need them. And all the cyanic is getting used up, which is, I think, okay? I don't know. It kind of scares me. Is that a bad thing? Where's all of that going? I assume it's all going to... Cyanic acid. We're using about 1,000 a minute, which could be going to melamine. How much melamine a minute are we? No, because we're only making about 400 a minute. So where's the rest of cyanic going? The rest of cyanic is probably going to cobalt extract or batteries. Cobalt extract, 6,000 in 10 hours, so that's only 10 a minute. That's only 50 cyanic a minute, so it's not that. It's probably batteries then. Still only 10 a minute, but that is 300 cyanic a minute right there as well. Okay. So that's where some of that's going. Yeah, I mean, cyanic is going to cost us something. It's going to cost us a lot of coal and ammonia, or it's going to cost us meat. I must be out of AUGs. Or did we actually reach our 500? Or no, yeah, we're just out of AUGs. And then we are completely overflowing on blood. Okay. Which means we should have plenty of ammonia. Which actually means in this case, meat to cyanic is less important because we could make cyanic from ammonia. Because these aren't even running. I can do prod here as well. That's an important note. We should do prod here. Because that's a significant amount less coal and ammonia and methane. With prod, this one probably becomes the winner. Can these be prodded? These can be prodded too. Oh, I can make my plastic more productive? Heck yeah. What about melamine resin? This one's not that expensive because we just don't use as much of it, but yeah, heck yeah. And then the plastic, I assume, can be prodded, but I just don't have the right buildings for it. Microfiber cannot, I think we already know, which is weird and annoying. Coke fluidization cannot. Stone wool can be prodded, which would save us stone and coke. Sure. Why not? That was a very unnecessary prod module, I think. Here we are. I should be prod moduling other things first. Expensive things. Like wafers, which I don't have in big assemblers. None of the trichlorosilane can do it. Silicon can be prodded, but I don't know if I'm feeling like that's worth it right now. All right, let's continue on our crude oil processing journey of craziness. Look at all this. Look at all this chaos. Okay, so what we need is another lamp over here, one there, and one there. We were really close. We just needed to hook up the, what's it called? Uh-oh, where did it go? Oh, it's this one. Hook up all the residual oil stuff. So we need a mixer. Which processes the residual oil. And then we need a DDC from that, which processes the residual mixture. And then we need an ionic upgrader, which processes the coking gas oil from that. So these three can really just go in a line or something. I don't know. Something like this. And then vent, coke oven gas, and then the vacuum will come in from the top. We'll get steam and water are pretty chill from over here. Let's see, steam comes over and does one of these, and then does one of these, and then does one of these. Okay, wait, that's not gonna work. Where's the boiler? I can never seem to find it. The icon doesn't stick out to my eyeballs. All right, I need some coffee. I will be right back. All right, we're back. And let's see. So this guy's doing steam, and then water is over here. 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 Power. Okay. So then we've got ash is the only input needed now. Apart from the residual mixture, of course, and the residual oil. Now, we need to make sure we use up the residual oil from this first. So we are going to need a top-up situation. So there's always room. So we'll do a top-up valve here for whatever residual oil is coming from external. And then this will just pump its own residual oil into that, which will recycle that properly. And then this is residual mixture, which we also need to only top up from externally. So 2 of the same sort of systems. And that can flow backwards too. So this just can go T-junction and connect to here. Or I guess this would be a little cleaner if I do this. Okay, so then that'll top that one up, and that way we have room for the residual mixture. That, wait. Yeah, that this one makes. Yeah, okay. We're good. We good. All right, and then this needs to be the external input for residual oil, which comes from one of these. Where does it come from? Where does it go? Where does it come from, Cotton Eye Joe? It's this one. All right, so this guy. This is residual oil. Comes over. And it'll be next to residual mixture. Okay. That'll go over here. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so now we need a mixer of the tier 1 variety. Then we need a destructive distillation column of the tier 1 variety, and we need a ionic upgrader of the tier 1 variety. And ash is the final piece of the puzzle here. I guess I'll do 21 stacks just because. Upgrade those a little bit. Alright, that'll be the ash, and then we've got large volume. Okay, we took care of steam, right, for both? I guess the question is, did I do enough steam? Realized I probably didn't. I need a few of these. Whatever, we'll just build 3. Just get it out of the way. I'll support a bunch later. Alright, do that. Or that's a T-junction now, I guess. Okay. And then the water's still good. Anyway, we get lots and lots of coke out of the second 2 buildings, these 2. Oh, and I need vacuum. Pressure pump. Right here. Okay. That's done, and then the coking gas oil, and then the residual oil from this is getting recycled properly. That's only topping up to 30%. Blah, 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 blah. All right, and then coke out here, and coke out here. And then that coke goes over to here. And yeah, what happens if it's too much coke? Are we handling coke trashing on a global level yet? I don't think we are. It's pretty easy to delete with the usage of, well, I mean, you could make graphite and then burn it, but no, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking, wait, what? Coking gas oil can be... Hold on. Wait. Residual mixture can make coke and residual oil, or how did I miss this? So I'm sure we did this back in the bitumen days, but that was 150 hours ago or something. So you can turn residual mixture into coking gas oil instead of turning it into... So what's the ratio here? It's 5 to 1 coke and 50 more residual oil, which is another 25 residual mixture. And then we also get the 25 coking gas oil, which is only an eighth of what you would get anyway. But otherwise, you could just turn it straight into 100 coking gas oil, but isn't that worse? Because that would get you... What's 2/3 of 40? 26 coke? That would get you 26 coke. I guess it's called coking gas oil for a reason. It would get you coke oven gas. But you'd spend 10 of that coke, turning it into 100 coking gas oil, which would then only get you 26 coke. So it'd only net you 16 coke for 100 residual mixture. Whereas this one nets you 20 coke for 100 residual mixture. And even more because you get the residual oil, some of the residual oil back, and yeah. So if your goal is to make coke, you would do what we're doing right now. Anyway, I am a bit concerned about the priority level and coke building up and such. So the question is, do I just burn coke with this? Or I guess this one just burns 2.5 coke a second. No questions asked. But this one actually has useful byproducts. Coal gas and tar. Tiny amounts of them, but they are useful. But you have heard of me. But I'm being dumb. We can just sinkhole the excess residual mixture. Now here, am I doing this correctly? Am I sinkholing? Yeah, I'm overflowing on the main line, and that's what we want to do here as well. At 90%, we overflow the residual oil from the main line. And then I just don't have to worry about either of those. If I already have enough coke, then what's the harm in sinking that? These things don't do anything else. So that should all be fine. Now, why are these not running? Because I don't have ash yet? Why don't I have ash yet? Is it just taking a while? Probably. This should be called oil processing. I don't even know what that one is yet. It's not doing anything. Oil processing. FR. Oil processing. FTP. I don't know why we didn't call that FTP. We need to change that in the blueprint. Oil processing FTP2. This is oil processing. TP1. Okay. No. Oh wait, the ash is already here. I just need to filter it. There we go. There we go. There we go. Cool. All right, I think we did it. I mean, we're missing some recipes because we haven't researched light oil processing yet. But other than that, I think we're done. And now we just need to deal with burning the phenol. Because we're going to have way too freaking much of it. So what we'll do is we'll use the coke, because we're going to have plenty of that. And I'm actually going to do it down here where we have a little bit of extra space. Because we're going to need a few of these to burn all the phenol. Because each one of these burns how much? Does this have the burn? No, it doesn't have that there either. I forget the rate of burning items. It's like 3.3 a second, I think, for pretty much everything. So if we're making so much phenol potentially, if we're using up all of the... And I could turn it into melamine. Formaldehyde we get for free from RefNat gas, sort of for free. It consumes condensates, is the way to think about it. Condensates, one is 2 steps away from being formaldehyde, at the cost of some hot molten salt. But yeah, there's just no easy way. Melamine doesn't get turned into a fluid or anything super duper useful either, so there's just no easy way to use up all the phenol without it costing us other things too. Eventually, just to delete phenol, if I have tons of ammonia, this would be the easiest way to do it, I guess. Because burners can't have modules either. So they can't do anything schmancy. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just do this, and this runs the risk of getting stuck. So then I have to measure what's on the belt. And this only works if there's 0 ash. Okay. And now the extra phenol, which, what's the easiest way to determine if it's extra? We could just do an overflow from the belt, or we could offload past a certain amount. I think it's cleaner just to offload past a certain amount. Filter phenol. It might be less UPS friendly to do it this way, I'm not sure. And you're going to be enabled if phenol is greater, because this one goes up to 12K. So if it's greater than 11,990. And then that should do it. Or 11,980. Technically, that does the weird thing where a train could end up coming for a certain amount, but there would have to be multiple trains on the way of later tier train. No, I'm not going to worry about that. We are not going to worry about that. 1, 2. I think that should work. All right, so this is phenol. Going around, and then the coke needs to get fed in. Now I just want to see, the production of cumene is the production of strip distillates, and the production of strip distillates is the production of medium distillates, which does produce residual mixture. But is it enough? Is 50 residual mixture that's going to be 10 coke, give or take. Actually, like 13 or something. And that 50 residual mixture goes with 100 medium distillates, which is 100 stripped distillates, which is 200 cumene, which is 20 phenol. So is 10 coke enough to burn 20 phenol? And I'm pretty sure the answer is like definitely, because these only consume 180 kilowatts. Which means a single coke, which is 5 megajoules, should last 25 seconds. Which means we should be able to burn like 75 items off of one piece of coke. So I'm pretty sure we're good to go here. Like, as long as we prioritize the coke over to the side. Okay, now why isn't any of this running? Is it just because all the stuff that can run is already stopped up? No, naphtha's messed up. I didn't connect naphtha. Goodness, cried Axe. Thank you. Spring chicken who's never played pyanodon's before. Where's my naphtha at? Alright, what's going on here? Number 3. I came close, I guess. Oh, you know what? I might have deleted that. Or I just didn't measure it right. I don't know. Okay, naphtha's taken care of. And petroleum gas seems to be taken care of. Although, I don't think... I might need an overflow for petroleum gas. Actually, I need an overflow for both petroleum gas and naphtha. Because... And I probably need to space them out. No, they can go in opposite directions. But that's not going to be enough storage, so I actually need like a tiny tank. I would kill for like a tank that's like either 1x2 or 1x1 that only has a capacity of like 1,000 units. And when I say I would kill for that, I don't mean literally. Come on, people. But it would be nice. Because, yeah, I'm going to have to do something like this. This is fine. And then we'll do overflows on those. The reason we need this is because... And let's see, petroleum gas is definitely a gas. So that's going to be an exhaust pipe. And this is going to be a sinkhole. And we need to get naphtha out because the naphtha isn't always going to be consumed. And then the last thing I can do, just to kind of help out a little bit with stockpiling properly, is doing this. And then wiring these guys up to count as storage too. Okay, and then the naphtha was which one? Naphtha was that one. 3. All right. Okay. So now those are hooked up to larger storages as well to better buffer their byproducts. Better buffer byproducts. Better buffer byproducts. Cool. All right, as soon as bots get there, I think we're done. Check on Aug Render Jerky. How's Aug Render Jerky doing? Still running out of Augs, but that's to be expected, given what we're doing here. We're at about 400 stacks of jerky type materials. What did we do wrong here? Ash is supposed to not go on that belt, so we need a blacklist Ash. Discovered that problem. So let's hop back over there and fix that. And then... Still no science, huh? What's going on now? I wonder... Nexalit? The answer is no. Not Nexalit. The answer is good alien samples. Formamide. Oh, I just broke something. I broke the ammonia connection, I guess. Okay. Wait, what? Where? What was that connecting to? Was this ammonia? No. That belt, that pipe is going this direction. Which... Is there ammonia over there? What the heck is going on? Did I accidentally rotate that? No, because that's depolymerized organics. Where's the ammonia? The ammonia was... Oh! Was that the one? Oh my gosh, I'm really embarrassed. Wasn't I chanting, don't forget to connect the ammonia, don't forget to connect the ammonia, and then I still forgot to connect the ammonia? Oh man, if that's what happened, you guys, and this is now in the past, so you guys have already wrecked me in the comments for that, if that's what I did. I don't remember which one I was chanting the other day, but if it was the ammonia, oh, I'm never gonna hear the end of that one. I'm incapable. It's just, there's nothing I can do. It doesn't feel like it matters how I approach it. I'm incapable of preventing this mistake. Absolutely incapable. It's so funny. Oh man. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, I can probably go for another 10 minutes or so here. So what now? We'll fix the crap here. It also looks like we're using up that hydrogen chloride. I'm curious, at some point we may end up with not enough hydrogen chloride, actually. I'm kind of curious if that's going to happen anytime soon. Can skin be turned into... Oh yeah, glycerol is kind of the thing skin can be turned into. Which we did set up, right? I should probably check on that. Just to make sure it's working. Yes. Okay. Speaking of phenol. But yeah, we also need the oleochemicals. So what I haven't done properly is import oleochemicals. Actually, so this is gonna break because so when we do this nichrome one, we get a little more oleochemicals for our lard. They're both affected by productivity, right? Wait, they're not. Right, that's why I like that one too. Well, whatever. This is not going to be the primary oleochemical production in my base. In fact, we're gonna nix it, which does mean I have a lot of wasted nichrome here, which is a bummer. But that means I need to import oleochemicals, because this is now not where I make oleochemicals. And then we need to put that over here. And then we need to... Why is the back button not working sometimes? I'm so confused. Alright, where was this actually? I don't remember. These are all up here. Alright, so this can be just deleted. And then we're never outputting oleochemicals from this anymore. We're inputting them from this one to this one. Wait, why is... Oh, never mind, that connects over here. This one always throws me for a loop because it's connected off to the side here. Anyway, then this just gets... We don't need a pump or an overflow, right? It's just the input. Yeah. And then, yeah, that all just does what it does. Okay. And we'll make glycerol this way, and then that's all good to go. I can productivity the ECH, so I probably should. That's chill. It's just 2 modules. In fact, let's get our BPA in here. Save some acetone, HCl, phenol, epoxy. Save some... Yeah, we can save all kinds of resources. And then soon we'll be importing phenol instead of making it on site. Cool, cool, cool. All right. What's next? Hoping power starts running soon. Or power research. Yeah, it looks like we're back up and running. I need beacons to get these things running faster. Or I just need to start remaking science. We're gonna have to remake them all anyway. Maybe that's what we should start on. Oh gosh. The only ones we'll keep making on site are gonna be Perogen, Sarcoris, and Animal Sample. The rest are gonna be made somewhere else. So we'll need to make lab instruments. Equipment chassis is only used in lab instruments, so that'll obviously go together. I guess it's time to break down the rubber versus lab instrument question. Yeah, let's do it. I don't need this block for anything, so let's do laboratory instrument. Okay, that's not what it's called. I don't know what it actually is called. So if we're making, we'll say 1 lab instrument, we want to break down. And when do I get the next rubber recipe? That is worth asking. We do get this one. 3 latex for 10 rubber. Is that better? Styrene is fairly cheap. So yeah, hold on. We need to investigate rubber real quick. So rubber, right now we're doing this recipe. So 2 latex makes 4. And that goes to this recipe, where 3 latex makes 10. The phenol is basically free. The carbon black is reduced as well. We're getting 3.3 instead of 2. That's like 66% more rubber for the cost of a tiny amount of phenol. We save polybutadiene, and we save Orgsolv. We use salt, phenol, and styrene to save on everything else. So I mean, that honestly, it could be arguably said to be even cheaper, and it makes it faster too. So this is a huge gain for basically just the cost of styrene. I mean, technically salt, but salt is so easy to produce in large amounts compared to rubber that that's almost a 0 cost. Which makes this recipe pretty bad because the latex ratio is not even that much better. And it uses tons of oleochemicals and tons of carbon black. So this is gonna be the future. And it's not that far away future. So we will use that recipe as the one we're comparing to here. Because the styrene cost is pretty minimal, and no, you can't productivity it, but ethylene is just the one that's BTX and Nexalit. Is there another way to make ethylene? Oh yeah, this way. This way is way cheaper. That one can be productivityed. So a little bit of benzene, a little bit of methane. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of options here. So polybutadiene, that's the one that's lead, right? No, this is aromatics and titanium. Okay, a little bit of titanium. But yeah, the phenol's free, the carbon black's free, latex, we're using less of it. I just don't think an electric engine unit is worth it. But let's keep breaking it down. Break small parts down into their iron costs, I guess. What's boron trioxide? Free, basically. That doesn't really count. We will break down the equipment chassis. Full circuits, take some batteries, so we save a little bit of battery action. But the electric engine unit, you know, like that's an absurd cost here. And if we give it the benefit of all of the prod that we can muster, that helps, but I don't think it helps enough. Yeah, where does that leave us? So as far as the rubber, it's not, what is it really saving us? What does latex actually cost us? It's just the formic acid, which we now have much easier ways to make. The chemical formic acid is just ammonia and CO2, and we can prod, I think, 3 steps in a row here. So like the actual amount of ammonia is way less than it used to. We can even prod the latex 4 steps in a row. We just can't prod the rubber. So the latex can be prodded all the way back to ammonia. So we're using barely any ammonia here. I mean, I say barely, it's half as much as we used before. 72 for 1.5 latex. But that means we're basically just saving a little bit of CO2 and ammonia. That's not worth it. The sodium alginate's basically free because seaweed and stone and limestone are all super cheap. I don't think this electric engine one is worth it. I'm not about to think this is worth it. Can they both be prodded? Yeah, we can prod the lab instruments on both ends, so that cancels out. Because we're getting nylon in here, which needs its own ammonia. I mean, it's a tiny amount of nylon, to be fair, but... yeah, I don't know. This, I'm having a hard time being convinced. Saves me some circuits, but like, is that ever gonna be a primary consumer of circuits? Oh wait, no, it doesn't save me circuits. Wait, did I misread? Hold on. Am I even dumber than I look? Yes. This also adds a simple circuit board into the cost. That wasn't even there before. Makes it even worse. Yeah, I'm not on board with this one. I think if this one saved on something else too, or it made like 6, it might be getting towards worth it. I don't know, I guess it depends. Because rubber is hard to scale in the sense that it's a big build that like, you know, and carbon black can only come from the anthracene, unless you get the turd recipe. I don't know. I feel like rubber is not that hard to scale once you have modules and stuff, though. It was a really big build because we didn't have modules and beacons. But at the same time, the electric engine cost is pretty small. I don't know, is that pretty small? I'm kind of taking that back. Like, The amount you need making electric engines is not insignificant here. For a given output of lab instruments per second. So in that sense, I don't actually know. Huh. We need way more shaft mark ones. I can bet that that's true. Anyway, yeah, I'm not totally sure of all the math there. It seems like it's not worth it, is my short summary. You don't want to know the long summary. But yeah, I mean, we could put prod modules in all this to save on ammonia, but we have plenty of ammonia as it is, so I don't think that's worth it. Here's our formic acid. Wait a second, I forgot we are requesting some from Vraux. What's this? We're using up Vraux formic acid first. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. Interesting. Should we switch to chemical formic only? Now that ammonia is cheap from urea from blood and all that? Stop using Vraux? I don't know. I'm not really sure what we should do about that. Gas Power's researching. Jerky AUG rendering is going. This is not powered up, which is a huge problem. None of these can take prod. Are we out of HCl? What's going on here? These have no hydrogen. Is that the way it's supposed to be? These are backed up on hydroxide. But we consume hydroxide upon certain conditions. I think we're okay. Yeah, when HCl drops below 100K. Okay. We're good. Yeah, there's all sorts of chaos going here. Ref syngas. Did I make that somewhere else? No. Yes. No. Yeah, we're making that with methanol now. So that means this one should be removed. Did we remove this? No. It is at a -1 priority. But I am just going to delete these. And this. And this. Because I just don't need ref syngas from activated carbon anymore. Kind of a pain in the butt with the zinc chloride and the hydroxide and the coal dust and the nitrogen, and we can just make it from methanol, which we can mass produce like 15 different ways. So we'll just remove that from contention, and I guess now we need to be preparing ourselves for gas power plants. So I need a few gas power plant Mark 1 to be ready to go in the auto mall. We'll add that into our list here. Do I have power related things? I actually don't. I think we just put the power plant in this one originally. Yes, power plant. Mark 1. We'll have 2 of them ready to go. And then we'll add in the gas power plant Mark 2. Once it's ready. And then we also should... Do we already have heat exchanger Mark II? Yes, we do. I need a couple of those. I'll just have 2 in the list. I can turn that on already. And then What else is needed for our build here? So we import fuel oil. We're gonna need a lot of molten salt to start, but once that's done, it's looping. And that's it. We just import fuel oil, and it's literally... That's literally it. It just feels so weird that, like, this is power. We bring in fuel oil, and this whole thing is done. The rest of this is all inconsequential. So it is nice to see the numbers. So the actual amount of crude oil that supports up to 10 gigawatts of power is going to be 71 crude oil. Which means with my current build, if I'm not... what's the word? If I'm not using the strip distillates for anything else, my 300 crude oil could support about... I did like this kick-out fiber build. That could be good at Mark III, potentially, as an option. Anyway, we could support up to like 40 gigawatts with my current amount of crude oil. And that would leave no strip distillates for anything else. So that would be bad. We wouldn't want that, but we could build that. And then... yeah, so this is how we're gonna make power moving forward. Why don't I... let's see, that's an AM2, so we're gonna apply that to all of them. But then these ones can be affected by beacons. Okay, I can't even remove the beacons. And on this one, we've just got the one beacon. I still need 3 of them either way. Doesn't really matter. So that is up to plus 33% speed. I wonder if I can do better. AM2, FM3, and 5.2. Yeah, 5 seems like a good choice for oil power plants because they're so big. So you can hit 4 power plants with 1 beacon and call it a day. And then we have 3 sets of that. And then these AM2s can go anywhere. Created the first gas power plant at 349 hours. Good for me. Alright. So this build is going to be actually super simple. Barely an inconvenience. Barely an inconvenience. And gas power estimate 20 minutes if science keeps running, which it probably won't. And where do I put this power? This glorious power. I also need titanium tetrachloride to be like very important because this is my power. So I'm gonna put an alarm actually on tickle. And if tickle is less than 2,000, or what's a better way to do this? Probably not there. Instead, I should put it on the input of tickle here. And I'm requesting 2.8K. So yeah, we'll have a little siren that goes off here if this guy's less than 200. We'll show the alert. Okay. Because that's what will be creating the fuel oil and stripped distillates. So as long as we have those two, we should be good to go. And the medium distillates are stuck right now because I'm not using the strip distillates for much. I already have cumene though. We're just not doing anything with it. And then those are all waiting on the light oil research. I guess xylenol is actually waiting on a different research. That's the heavy oil processing, which gets us grease and xylenol. It also lets us turn oleochem and sulfuric into heavy oil, which is kind of an interesting one. Oh, and kerosene. Wait, why did I not put kerosene here? Did I decide I didn't want to make kerosene for anything? I mean, I do already have so many other options for fluid fuel, but I don't know why I skipped kerosene. Oh, isn't it because heavy oil to kerosene is better? That's what it was. Or is that true? I can't remember. Let's see. 100 goes to 200, which then would go to 80. Or 100 goes to 150. No, that's way better. If I need kerosene for any reason, I should definitely do it that way. But the problem is kerosene, well, it is needed as an ingredient. I'm legitimately confused. What is going on? Why did I not think about kerosene as a low distillates option in this build? Did I just forget it? I must have just not seen it or not thought of it, because it's like, it's right here. When we look at the list, it should have been right. Yeah, I don't know why I skipped this one. Well, we'll put it in here. With the rest of the stuff. And that will need to get added in, I guess, above the BTX here. I can get the recipe picked this way, but then I need the Mark 1 building, and that should do it. Beautiful. And then kerosene will get made at 50% overflow. Heavy oils at 30. Xylenol and grease are priority 1. Then we go heavy oil, then we go kerosene, then we go PTX. Okay, that feels about right. And then we need to get those attached, and then the kerosene output needs to get figured out. Which can use this spot here. Need a module in there. And then gotta go to this guy and put kerosene in here. Kerosene. And we don't want kerosene to be a byproduct. And then this is kerosene, which is number 5. Number 5! You guys ever watch Kids Next Door? Oh my gosh. Just saying number 5 made me think about that. Alright. We are now set up for kerosene 2. Glad we got that dealt with. Now, something I could start looking into would be vat brains. Because those are definitely needed to improve research productivity. So that's a whole world we need to dive into. Maybe in the next episode we'll investigate. Because I need to be done with this episode. So let's kind of get a little bit of to-do list item going here. So desulfurization was for lubricant. Then I can do... Well, there's the vat brain research. I don't actually know what needs to happen next. There is... I could do the outlet gas stage 4 and work towards hot air. This one sucks. We already looked at that. We already have a good way to make coal. I could get smelter tier 2 buildings. Additives. Wow, that's a lot of different... You You can turn tar directly into xylanol at a terrible ratio if you want. We're gonna need these for all sorts of later processings, it looks like. Cool. Oh, I do want logistics warehousing. That's for sure on my list. Fuel production stage 2 gives me the aromatics to olefins, as well as olefins to petrol and light oil, which, does that make a loop? And then if we ever end up with tons of Nexolite, that gives us easy syngas as well. So that's a really good research. Fiberboard 2 we liked, but that doesn't feel like a high priority. Rubber 3 we liked, but again, doesn't feel like a high priority. Light oil proc 3 is already on the list. Heavy oil proc 3 gets me grease and xylanol and kerosene, but I don't need those right now. Petroleum gas processing doesn't feel necessary. Bio oil. It's funny, this is called petroleum gas processing and not a single thing is petroleum gas. Coal bed methane, no. Drilling fluid 2, no. Don't care about that. Vanadium 2. Yeah, don't really care about it. Cellulose stage 3 is actually good, especially with saw blades and better kick alkin stuff. I could get belt stacking to 4. That doesn't feel that important. Casting, we already said, is not really that good. I'd have to look at them all again, but only one of those was good if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe 2. There's a new animal, Fagnots. What do they give me? These are the ones that give you gas bladders. That's actually kind of cool because gas bladders can be turned into like a million things, if I'm remembering correctly. So it's kind of like Tholins, actually, in that sense. Oil power. Wait. Oh no. Oh shoot. Why is oil power locked so far behind this? I thought I was building fuel oil. I'm not. I'm doing gas power. Whoops. I have the wrong one selected in the build. That's fine. Anyway, beacons. Oh my gosh, that's the thing. I felt like I was forgetting something. Beacons are the thing that I need ASAP. Oh, but they are a few steps away. Okay. So what's my prioritization here? Do I really want to do all these before beacons? I probably do, because the aromatics to olefins makes those basically free. The lubricant basically free. The cumene and phenol basically free. That cheapens up a lot of stuff. And then logistics warehousing could wait until after beacons. But it gives me something to do while we wait for all these other researches. Okay. All right, well, that's a little ways away. But that does mean that for this, we are going to be building hot molten salt from tier 2 gas, which is this one. Okay. Which, if we wanted to think about it this way, we can make this from, where's my shale oil? Like if I was just using kerogen, how much kerogen is this? 9.5 kerogen. That's it. 10 gigawatts from 10 kerogen. Imagine early game if every kerogen was a gigawatt. Oh, that's crazy. This is such a good gig. All right, I need to get out of here. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next one.